How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Blue Shifting, and welcome back to Sunrider. Now, depending on how long it is, this might be the last episode of Sunrider, because I think we almost made it to the happy ending, and I'm determined to get us there. Obviously, it's only one of the endings. I think there's like 20, so plenty of exploration for you to do on your own time, but we got a hint at the end from the Claude after text, or after thing, saying that what we messed up in is that we didn't incapacitate Chigara quickly enough, and that she shut down the ship. So I'm guessing the problem lay in switching her with Lynn, but I'm not entirely sure about that. We will have to find out. So, this episode is going to be a long one for me, but a short one for you, I think, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the game as best I can, trying to fix that problem. Anything new that happens, I'll be sure to show you, but majority of it's going to be the same old stuff we saw before, so I'll be editing a lot of that out. Now, hopefully, that means that things have gone pretty well. And I'm sure I'll be pretty aware of where the differences are. But the thing is, I guess, if we stop the ship from powering down, I imagine it's going to be still fairly similar. So, like, well, not too similar, because then we don't have to reactivate the engine. So, we'll see what happens. But let's get right to it. Okay, so far, everything seems pretty much the same. I've been doing the same stuff as before. However, this choice popped up, and it's got me thinking. So, we know the critical issue is we let Chigara escape too early. Maybe part of the problem was that we took the time to switch them out. And that, because remember, Chigara had the half dose that she was given so she could sneak away into the captain's quarters before the final battle. That bit us in the butt because she woke up while she was still supposed to be unconscious for another, like, double time. So, if we're faster about it, we run the risk of alerting the ship early. However, we know that that'll happen anyway, because the magic of saves and loading. Shut up, I know, shut up. But I think this is one of the pivotal choices, if not the pivotal choice. Because honestly, the fact that we made it to the end, I guarantee you there's a lot of endings where you just die prematurely and don't save everyone, or even anybody. So I'm guessing that this is going to be at least part of the final solution. We'll see what happens, but I think this time we'll just take that risk. We have to kidnap Chigara as soon as possible. There's no time to waste. Understood, Captain. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to go to sickbay and distract this timeline's Claude, while you sneak in and wheel Chigara's medical trolley away. You'll take her to crew quarter 8, which is currently unoccupied, and wait until I arrive. I'll try to beat a hasty retreat as soon as I can. Once we've regrouped, you'll run into the mess hall and call for the other Kayto Sheilds out. Oh, excuse me. Distract him while I sneak into my office and contact Fontana on the FTL con. Then we'll regroup back at crew quarters 8 and relocate Chigara to the maintenance room D4. So this one looks faster. It also is nail biting. Oh, this is going to be intense. Did you get all that? Understood, Captain. Let me try that again. Understood, Captain. Alright, good luck. 52 hours before Liberation Day Massacre, 16 hours till Chigara enters the mine stream. We're gonna do it this time, dang it. Alright, so we did the same thing. I noticed about halfway through it was the same, so I kind of went through a little faster, but you know, you didn't see any of that. So we successfully, well, I assume successfully, because it didn't really say explicitly, otherwise I would have read it to you, but it pretty much said that he confirmed it was a success and then left, which is the same thing it said last time. I stole the holo. Now we're heading to our crew quarters to look through stuff. As you walk through quarters 8, Shields activated his holo and searched through its contents. Oh wait, this is the same, so I'll probably skip forward a little bit more, but you'll see me on the flippity flip. Okay, so far everything's the same. Claude's still crazy, Q, and yeah. Now I forgot earlier. I said, "Oh, it'll be faster. That way we can avoid Chigara waking up." No. I might have goofed a bit because she's waking up because the mission's exactly the same length as last time. Gosh darn it! I'm stupid. I don't even know. Okay, well, let's see if something changes. If not, I'll feel like an idiot and we'll be doing this again. As if to make matters worse, Chigara began to stir in her sleep. Shields sharply inhaled in concern. Doc? How much longer is Chigara going to be sedated for? Still another 4 hours, with a full dosage. Chigara's going to be sound asleep for a full 8 hours. Oh. Suddenly Claude froze. Never mind. Doctor, what do you mean, never mind? I forgot to mention in this timeline, I actually gave Chigara a half dose of sleep pills, so she would wake up early enough to consummate her love for her captain the night before the final battle. Shields nearly collapsed at Claude's mistake. What do you mean, you forgot? I thought you were supposed to be a god! Well, when you've lived as long as I have, there's just so much to remember. How could I be expected to recall such tiny little detail like that? It's true, dig it. She's not really a god, she's just a human with godlike powers. That's a very different thing. Or maybe, it could be, maybe not. I don't know. It depends on your definition of god. Then how much longer do we actually have until Chigara wakes up? Maybe until about now. As if on cue, Chigara sleepily opened her eyes. Captain? Huh? Oh, what's going on, Captain? Why am I tied up to this chair? Chigara's eyes darted around the room while she struggled against the ropes in panic. Please, let something different happen. Oh, crap. For now, I've got to calm Chigara down. Chigara, don't worry, I'm here. I'll protect you. All of a sudden, Shields felt at a loss. His usual collected demeanor fell apart, random words merely leaking from his mouth as he spoke to Chigara in a daze. Chigara. Oh man, I hate looking at this image. He had felt her die in his very arms when spark left her body. A demon had awakened in him, a demon willing to burn the entire galaxy in order to avenge her. Despite being a spy, despite betraying him, despite murdering countless Alliance leaders, Shields had loved her with his entire heart. And that's exactly how the Shields in this universe feels about her. Chigara, calm down, and listen to me. Huh? Shields knelt down in front of her. Despite waking up tied to a chair, the sight of her lover's face managed to calm her fears. What is it, Captain? I admit, this is quite a strange way to be waking up after a doctor's visit. But you wouldn't do anything bad to Chigara, would you? I trust you. Oh, that hurts. I'm about to tell you something important, but no matter what happens, I'll protect you, because this time I'm going to save everyone, including you, Chigara. Alright, here I go. The truth is, Shields could never finish his sentence, as exactly that moment the gates of the crew quarters exploded in smithereens, momentarily blinding everyone inside. This is different. Oh, fetch. In a flash, Marines piled into the room. By the time Shields had recovered his vision, he was completely surrounded by a squad of armed troops pointing their rifles at him. Oh, crap. Wait a minute. He looked around in confusion. Claude had somehow vanished from the room. Did she use her powers to escape? Before he could produce another thought, the Marines grabbed into him and pushed him into the hallway. Well, that was different. But the ship didn't power down! I must have guessed right! Yes! Haha! I'm still screwed, though. Oh, man. My stomach hurts. Shields kept his hands on top of his head as the Marine shoved him to his knees. A wall of well-armed troops in full body armor stood in front of him. The human wall parted to let a man through the face shields. It was... Dun 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 dun! Ah, hello. Well, I'll be damned. Ah, crap. Kayto Sheilds clenched his teeth and stared down at Kayto Sheilds. You really do look like an identical copy. Just then, Chigara emerged from the room, escorted by a pair of crewmen. She immediately ran to the other Shields and embraced him. Oh, Captain! I'm so glad you're here. Just what in the world is going on? I feel like the doctor accidentally prescribed me the wrong medication and I'm hallucinating. Oh, trust me, this is real. The ship's security has been compromised by 2 intruders. One of them happens to look identical to me. This fellow right here. Ah, my cover's been blown, and now Chigara's playing along with my past self-suspicions. And on top of that, does my voice seriously sound like that? Oh, great, of course. Although, ironically, if I were in this situation, I'd probably say the same thing. Except I kind of know what my voice sounds like now since I listen to myself all the time when making videos. I sound so lame. I get you, brother. I feel the pain. I thought my voice was so much deeper. Ugh, as if I don't have enough problems. I don't know what he sought to gain by kidnapping you, but I intend to find out. Yes. You're making a mistake. That girl's not who she says she is. In just a few hours, Shields lost his words when another face emerged from the wall of Marines. We have secured the room, Captain. However, still no trace of the other imposter. She may have managed to escape using the ground access hatch. Ava? What is she doing? Wasn't she supposed to be helping me? Was she the one who set me up? Shields' head spun as the woman he had put his trust in apparently backstabbed him without a second thought. Take him away, boys. We can find out what he's after once he's secure in the brig. Resume the search for the other imposter. Keep the ship on high alert until she has been found. Understood, sir. As the Marine pushed Shields towards the brig, he tried to face Ava. Ava, did she betray me? Was Claude right? Was she seriously so devoted to the rules that she'd assumed this whole time that I couldn't be the real Kayto Sheilds? Or is she seriously so devoted to protocol that she's just blindly obeying everything the other Kayto Sheilds is saying? No. Wait. She said she was pursuing a lead. Could that mean that she'd found something and all of this was part of her plan to stop Chigara? But if I'm wrong about that, I could end up locked in the brig for the remainder of the battle. What do I do? Well, I'm gonna keep trusting Ava. It worked last time. I think it's worth doing again because Ava's freaking awesome. Shields decided to play along for now. Just one more thing. Ava, check the hollow inside the room. One of the Marines pounded Shields' gut with the butt of his rifle. Shut up. Ugh. He felt two strong hands grip his shoulders and drag him to the brig. Okay. For 7 hours, the Liberation Day Massacre, 11 hours till Chigara enters the mine stream. Still plenty of time. Plenty of time. Okay. So I wonder if this is going to be similar or not. I'm going to read it anyway. I'll probably cut it out. Shields faced a doppelganger as he spoke through the intercom. Listen to me, you dumb oaf. I really am you, just from the future. I've come to warn you of a massacre which will happen. He had repeated his desperate warnings to his past self for the better part of the past 2 hours, but it was clear he was not getting through. Chigara is a prototype. If she enters the mine stream a few hours from now, she'll be mind-controlled by the leader of the prototypes and carry out... The other Shields cut him off, his voice crackling with impatience. Alright, enough about Chigara. I want to know about how you got aboard this ship and who you're actually working for. You're a prototype, aren't you? Have you guys started generating clones of me too now? Look, it was pretty weird when we discovered you prototypes were making artificial clones of Chigara, but now me? Just what is up with you guys making clones of people on board this ship? What were you trying to gain by trying to recruit Ava into your mission? And for what purpose did you kidnap Chigara? Ugh, it's hopeless. There's no way I'm ever going to convince a blockhead of Chigara is going to cause the Liberation Day Massacre at this rate. The other Shield sighed in exasperation on the other side of the glass. Apparently both sighed. Actually, it would be pretty funny if they both sighed at the same time. Honestly, Shields was inclined to do the same. He was one agonizingly stubborn individual to argue with. All of a sudden, he felt compelled to apologize to Ava for his personality once all this was over. He'd never known he was so stubborn until now. Finally, the other Shields left the intercom with an irritated look on his face and spoke to Ava. A solid layer of reinforced Neo glass separated Shields from the outside world, making it impossible to hear anything outside his little fish tank. If only I could hear what they were saying. Wait a minute. I remember reading a maintenance request about this holding cell. Something about the cell door failing to seal completely. Maybe if I'm lucky, it hasn't been fixed yet. Shields pretended to crumple to the floor in defeat and put his ear up against the crack where the gate came down on the floor. Sure enough, he could now faintly hear the other Shields and Ava's exchange. I wonder if I'm gonna... Captain, perhaps we should consider this prisoner's warning seriously, given the gravity of what he's alleging. If it turns out that he's telling the truth, our victory at Sarah would be meaningless. If the top Alliance leadership is assassinated, and a far greater conflict between the Alliance and Pact ignites. I'm not doing good. Further, the hollow we found inside the room directly refutes our doctor's prior findings that Chigara is a human, and throws grave a shadow over the doctor's actions for the entire duration of this voyage. In fact, I believe our next move should be to detain both the chief engineer and our acting medical officer under suspicion of espionage. No. First off, he's not Kayto Sheilds. Ava, you're still going on about that? How many times have I to tell you? The prototypes just want to sow division within our ranks. This imposter is probably just their latest attempt at the same strategy. In fact, everything here falls into the same pattern of them trying to get us to turn on each other. We're one family on board this ship. It's that bond which makes us strong. The prototypes are trying to undermine it. No, you idiot. It's you who's so fixated on your family that you can't see what's obvious to everyone else. Shields nearly banged his head on the cell door in frustration at hearing himself talk. That would be really annoying. With like so much on the balance. Someone please give this man a good whomp in the head. I don't think I'm doing very good. Hello, everybody. So, you might have been wondering why this took a week to come up. Well, as you probably saw leading up to now, I actually got horrendously sick the night I was recording this. I thought I was going to be fine, just had kind of a stomach ache. It got worse and worse as we progressed through the story, to the point where I it was just bad. And I actually had to step away and was violently ill for the next 2 days. So, sorry, but happens. But so we're gonna pick it up where we left off. I guess all we've really seen though, the difference is that the only change I've made, and I think so far we're on the right track, was that I didn't try and change out Chigara for Lynn. Instead, we just took her straight away, and that seems to have been successful. However, because remember, Claude gave us the key saying that we should. She said that the problem was that we let Chigara get away and she shut down the power on the ship. The only reason why she didn't get away is because we got interrupted by the Marines much sooner than we had before. Well, maybe not much sooner, it's more like a 10-minute difference, but that 10-minute difference might have saved the ship, so let's see what happens. So, this scene's fairly similar so far, except the power's on. So we gotta see if there's any other deviations, but, anyway, I'm sure I said something annoying here of my past self. Someone please give this good man a good whop up to the head. But Captain! That's enough, Commander. Continue to interrogate the prisoner. Find out what the prototypes are after. That's an order. Understood, sir! With that, the other shields left the brig. Ava merely sighed, as if she knew this outcome was inevitable, but was disappointed it had come to pass anyway. Ava looked around to check if the coast was clear, then approached the holding tank. She merely held out her outstretched palm and put it up against the glass. Oh, I loved that. That was my favorite scene, honestly. The whole last episode was full of awesome stuff, but I loved that. Just like a Spock Kirk moment. It's just like, believe. Ava? Of course! She's sending me a message not to worry. She's already come up with a plan to stop Chigara, and me getting captured was just a part of that plan. Shields outstretched his hand and put his palm up against hers. This was their oath. They would work together till the very end to avert the tragic future. The faintest trace of a smile appeared on Ava's face before she withdrew her hand. With a nod, she faced him one last time before leaving the brig. Now, let's see what Ava has planned. Short time later, he heard someone knock on the holding tank. Shields looked up to see Ava on the opposite side of the glass. She pressed the button and opened the cell door. Ava? She immediately handed him a new set of captain's uniforms. Come on, I'm getting you out of here. I've managed to get my hands on a new set of authorization codes to go along with that uniform. You'll be able to access the same parts of the ship as before with that. It won't be long until security comes back. Escape through the emergency maintenance shaft and meet me inside LifePod 15 where there are no cameras. Do you understand? Yeah. Ava spun around and left the brig as quickly as she appeared. With that, Shields quickly put on his uniform and escaped into the maintenance shaft as ordered. He entered LifePod 15 as told by Ava and found her waiting inside. She stood and faced him. What happened? Did the other Shields catch on to me? No. Your capture was actually my doing. Really? Then why'd you do that? Following what you told me about the chief engineer, I naturally investigated all the modifications you've made to our ship's systems to guard against the risk of sabotage. During the investigation, I discovered a logic bomb embedded in the main reactor's controls, wherein the chief engineer could remotely deactivate the entire ship. No doubt yet another insurance policy the prototypes prepared in case the chief's identity was found out. Shortly afterwards, I discovered that you were about to kidnap the chief and step right into the prototype trap. Given the circumstances, I had no choice but to assemble ship security and detain you before you made your fatal mistake. Which, last time didn't work out so well. Oh, crap. Then it sounds like you just saved my butt. Thanks. I was merely doing my duty to protect the ship. No. You're always the one doing all the work to keep the ship safe. Once again, I nearly fell for another prototype trap. If it weren't for you, the mission would have most likely failed. Honestly, I'm disappointed in myself. Lately, it feels like I've been failing as a ship's captain. In contrast to her usual angry demeanor, Ava smiled gently. Please, do not carry all the burden by yourself. Remember that I am by your side as well. Yeah, thanks for having my back all that time. Understood. I guess you're not the ship's captain anymore. Oh, she looks so happy with it. Then, you're welcome, Shields. A wild adventure to save the day once more, just like old times. Just then, a certain pink-haired ditz poked her head out from the front of the escape pod as well. Yeah, that's different. Looks like you two made it out of the brig alive, Captain. Claude. Dang it, just where'd you vanish to? Remember, I can't just be put into a situation where I'll be forced to use my powers. When the Marines appeared, I activated my convenient cloaking device and temporarily fell back. Well, that is convenient. Ma, it's more fun it's more fun for me if you figure out things by yourself, Captain. Also safer for the space-time continuum, too. Please treat me like a normal girl. Using my powers to get out of this mess is strictly forbidden. Dang it, Claude. I bet she has some trick up her sleeve which will let us avert the massacre here and now. But I guess she has a point. Using her powers is outright dangerous considering what we've learned about the laws of causality. For now, we're stuck with what Claude can accomplish without her time powers. In any matter, the situation is as follows. We must still detain the chief engineer and warn Fontana so they may survive the battle without her assistance. Further, now that the ship's security is on high alert, we know the chief can remotely shut down the ship's reactor. We must avoid detection. The biggest question is how we'll capture Chigara without also shutting the ship down. Our best solution would be to invalidate the chief's command ID. However, the only person capable of doing that is the ship's captain. Unfortunately, the new uniform I procured for you does not have sufficient security clearance to lock the chief out of the system. So in other words, the only person who can detain Chigara without the ship shutting down is the other Kayto Sheilds. Correct. But he's completely convinced Chigara's on his side. Yeah, well, convinced is the word. Shields racked his brains for ideas. Alright, first things first. We've got to warn Fontana about the virus before putting Chigara out of commission. I could still sneak into my office to send a message, but now that ship's on high alert, that's going to be nowhere as easy as before. Judging from the fact that my security clearance has not been revoked yet, it appears that nobody has realized I have set you free. I could simply try issuing an order to security to distract them. As for capturing Chigara, I'm almost out of options now that the prior kidnapping was a bust. I could try convincing my other self that Chigara is a prototype and get him to detain her, but that's a total long shot at this point. Come to think of it, there is another option. Terrifying that was. Sheesh, I hate those things. When Chigara enters the mind stream, Asaga goes berserk and nearly kills her in my timeline. If we just change the course of events a little, we can get this universe's Asaga to kill Chigara before it has a chance to commit a massacre. No! We did not like that. Last time that sucked. But this is murder we're talking about here. Shield's chest chilled at his own thoughts. The safety of the entire galaxy is at stake, but to actually arrange the murder of my own chief engineer? Not to mention. Once again, his memories of Chigara came flooding back to him. Oh, gosh darn it. His chest suddenly twisted at the thought of killing his former lover. Granted, she'd been a spy sent to win his affections from the very beginning, but Shields was still certain that the massacre was not Chigara's doing. She had merely been mind-controlled without her knowledge during that time. Certainly, she needed to be captured, but to be killed... Not only that, but Asaga was merely a distraught girl in the timeline. Her attack on Chigara was a moment of desperation brought on by mental fatigue after multiple awakenings. To use Asaga like a puppet to murder her former best friend in cold blood? He knew that if he went down this path, he would no longer be worthy of being the ship's captain, in his own eyes at least. I agree, and that's exactly what happened, pretty much, except not really, but gosh darn it, that ending sucked. I mean, we didn't blow up the galaxy, like, well, we kind of did. We purposely blew up the universe, didn't accidentally do so. But this is the safety of the entire galaxy we're talking about. What do I do? There is another option. In my timeline, Asaga's mind broke down from the awakening too many times, and she attacked Chigara in the fit of jealous rage when Chigara entered the mind stream. Even though Asaga was ultimately thwarted in my version of events, if we manipulate the timeline a bit, I think we could change the future by having Asaga kill Chigara. I see. In that case, we would not need the other Kayto Sheilds to overturn the Chief's command clearance. But this option is all but certain to lead to the Chief's death. Are you sure about this? Granted, I do not know the likelihood of the Chief's survival no matter what option we pick. Even if she survives, she would be imprisoned for the remainder of her life. I know. Alright. Well, I know already what we can't do, but if I'd been able to come to this organically, I think I still would have chosen we confront the other Kayto Sheilds and convince him. Because we can't just use use Asaga to kill Chigara for us. I mean, that's just ugh. Fetch, man. I mean, honestly, if I had to kill her, at least I should be the one pulling the trigger, you know? I mean, that's terrible to say, but, like, with a choice like that, I don't feel like it'd be right to just make others do it for me. Not if there's other ways. Understood. Convincing the captain to change his mind will be difficult. I hope you're prepared, Kayto. I know. But I know him better than anyone. Well, because, well, he's me. First, though, we'll have to send Fontana to FTL to message ASAP, so the ships are ready to fight with us without Chigara's help. Come on, let's go. Here we go. Come on, let's make it happen, please. The two of them climbed out of the service tunnel and dropped down near the captain's office. As expected, a pair of Marines stood in front of their destination, rifles held at the ready. We're gonna have to figure out a way to get them out of there. It won't be long until they figure out you've escaped. For now, I can do this. Ava pulled out her holo and used her command credentials to create a false sighting of intruders in the sickbay. The guards immediately heard the alert and ran opposite down the hall. Ah, nice. I guess it pays to have the commander on your side. Let's move. I tried to do her voice and failed, sorry. Let's move. Shields breathed in relief as he entered his office. But just because I'm home doesn't mean I can afford to relax. He ran to his desk and activated the FTL con. He put a request to contact Fontana, on board the packed assault carrier Vea Victus. The transmission kept beeping, waiting for a response. Come on, answer the phone! Shields tapped his desk impatiently as the beeps continued. Come on, you blasted pretty boy. Where the heck are you doing? Pick up the phone! Shields' chest felt as if it was going to burst as the transmission kept beeping. What the heck's taking so long, Fontana? Taking a bath? Preening in front of the mirror? What? Don't tell me it takes a full hour for you to get dressed and groomed for a phone call. Gosh darn girly boy. Oh, there he is. Just as Shields uttered those words. Great. Fontana's face appeared above his desk, or maybe more just before he uttered those words. Fontana stared at Shields with a decidedly annoyed look on his face. Oh no, he hung up again! Oh shoot, we're in trouble! Crap, crap, crap! Shields furiously tapped the button to resend the transmission for request. Finally, Fontana appeared once more. What is it, Shields? Surely you do not call me in the depth of the night merely to comment about my face. Take it. No. Listen to me, Fontana. This is important. Your ships have been... Just then he heard the door of his office open. Uh-oh. A lone Marine wandered in. Shoot. Fontana, duck! What? Shields and his co-conspirators all died behind his desk. Fontana instinctively ducking down as well upon seeing everyone react the same way. Fontana and Shields grimaced when they realized they were practically sitting on top of each other. Fontana's hologram practically merged with Shields' body. Awkward. Ava's like, whoa. Ava couldn't help but notice their compromising position. Are you making a... Shh! Quiet! Listen, your ships have been hacked with a prototype virus. Tomorrow they'll be used to assume full control of your ships and attack the combined fleet. You have to do everything in your power to undo the virus. What? Shields, if you speak those words in jest. I'm not joking, but I've gotta go. Do it, or else we're all gonna die tomorrow. With that, Shields cut the transmission. Well, that went about as bad as it could possibly go. Let's hope he doesn't just brush it off as a joke. No, a man like Fontana would be far too careful to just blow off a warning like that. Kayto, one bogey coming our way. Just one? I think we can take him. Just me and Ava. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3! The two of them leaned over the desk at the same time, sending a pile of unfinished paperwork into the air. Eat paperwork, jerk! Unfortunately, a rogue sheet of paperwork landed right in front of Shields' face and obscured his vision. Crap. The Marine tossed Ava aside and raised his rifle simultaneously as Shield tore the sheet of paper from his face and lunged for him. They collided and fell on the floor. Shields immediately put his hand over the Marine's mouth and tried to strangle him. Jeez. Unfortunately, with the swift knees of Shields' gut, the Marine managed to regain the upper hand. Just as the Marine raised his gun to finish Shields off, Ava appeared behind the Marine and smashed his head in with Shields' prized teapot. Aww. Gah! He cringed, expecting his prized heirloom to now be in a million pieces. To his utter surprise, the teapot remained completely unharmed, and judging from the unconscious Marine, apparently it hit harder than reinforced steel. Wait a minute, Chigara reinforced that pot for me. Dang, that girl really must have done something incredible for it to still be in one piece after being smashed up against someone's skull like that. I wonder if it's pretty much indestructible. Nice. It's like the lead-lined refrigerator in Crystal Skull, you know, the movie we never talk about. Still, Shields took the teapot away from Ava and returned it to a shelf. Be careful with that. Right. Ava looked around in dismay at the mountains of paperwork now scattered around Shields' desk. Get that look off your face. I came close today to being killed thanks to that paperwork. See, I told you this stuff was deadly. Only because you allow it to accumulate. Ah, come on, we have bigger things to worry about. They ran out of the office before any Marines could show up. That's the excuse that leads to all the mess, though. It's like, I got bigger problems. Of course, there's always bigger... Oh, crap, what a cracker. However, as soon as they left Shield's office, the trio came face to face with a squad of Marines. Crap. Freeze! Completely outnumbered and surrounded by rifles, Shields had no choice but to put his hands on top of his head again. God, not quite what I was hoping for, but we could actually use this to our advantage. He faced his companions, but found the Claude and once again vanished into thin air. As like Claude's deciding to hide for now, he motioned for Ava to follow his lead. She slowly put her hands on top of her head as well. Alright, we surrender. But I'm willing to talk. Take me to your leader. No need. Here he comes. The other shields emerged from behind the squad of Marines. You've got some guts breaking into my office. What were you trying to pull out there? I just saved your butt by warning Fontana the prototype sabotaged his ships. You'll thank me for it later. Captain, he's telling the truth. I saw the contact Fontana with my own eyes. Commander, you have violated a direct order by setting the imposter free, and worse, I see that you're actively helping him so to send aboard the ship. Have you lost your mind? No. Lately, I fear it is you who have been acting strange. What? Sir, I do not know what words the chief used to sway you, but you have put the ship at risk by putting your blind faith in her. I implore you to examine all the evidence at hand and detain the chief that this matter has been fully investigated. The other shield's face is contorted in rage. You turned my own XO against me? After all we've been through, you trust a prototype spy over me? Sadly, I was about to say the same. Commander, no. Commander Crescentia, I am relieving you of your command. You are to be confined to quarters until the battle is over so that you can be tried for insubordination. And as for you, prototype, the Brig. It's useless. He's fallen completely under the control of the prototypes. He was right. It's do or die time. Shields slowly lowered his hands from his head and the sound of Marines locking and loading their rifles. Shields, how about we settle this man to man? I'm you, you're me. Believe me, I've stood in those shoes before. I was so cocky I couldn't see the truth dangling right in front of my eyes. Marines, hold your fire. It's so weird, like, reading two characters' voices the same, but it's the same person. But it's like, in even my ears, like, I can't imagine an audiobook being like this. Or, like, what if it had actual voice acting here? Like, it would be kind of confusing. It's awesome, though. The other shields marched up to his mirror image, and they stood face to face. Alright, I'll bite. If you really are me, you should know that all Chigara has done for us. She's had hundreds of opportunities to kill us before, and yet each time she's defended this ship. To question her now would be tantamount to betraying my family. That's because she's a sleeper spy. Right now all she's doing is winning your influence, but when the time comes, she'll lose control of her body and destroy all that you've worked for. If so, what would you have me do? Kill her? Imprison her for life? Protect her from being controlled by the prototypes. This is for Chigara's sake as well, and for the lives of everyone on board this ship, and the billions who will be saved when this war ends now. You don't know what the future's like, and if you think you're protecting Chigara right now, you're going to be in for one hell of a shock. You've got to do this for her. All lies! Chigara will save us. She's all that matters. I won't betray her. She is everything. The other shields grabbed shields by the That's such a funny phrase. By the scruff of the collar, staring deep within his past self's eyes. Shield only saw a massive empty void, as deep as the darkest trench. All I need is her. Shield struggled against his other shelf's grip as he raved with madness. You've been corrupted. It was right. This version of myself has become a slave to the prototypes. At this rate, reasoning with him is completely useless. What has Chigara done to him? Marines, hold your fire. I'm taking command of this situation. The captain has gone insane. The Marines looked around in a panic, at a loss of what to do. Yeah, talk about confusing orders. On one hand, the captain of the ship had just relieved the commander of her authority, but it was clear to his mad ravings that the captain was no longer fit to lead them. You moron! Shield clenched his teeth. Wake up! Oh, that's a screenshot of a screenshot. Oh, that's cool. I know this won't be the thumbnail, I'm sure, but I like this one. Shield shoved his past self away and delivered an almighty punch to his other version's kisser. Ugh! The other Shields fell flat on his back against the floor. Shield stood over him and bellowed. He bellowed the truth which he only knew, for he was not speaking to an adversary or a prototype puppet. He was speaking to himself. This isn't about Chigara. It never was about her. All of this was to exorcise the ghost which haunts you by your bedside every night. The ghost is one person you regret failing the most. God. I know. I tried to move on by finding a new future. A future far from war, surrounded by my children. But all of this was a lie. A deception used by the enemy to control me. Me! Nothing I will do will ever return Murray to me. Nor will it absolve me from the crime of abandoning millions to die that day. But such is war. In war, scars are opened, scars which may never close, scars which must wear for the remainder of our lives. But I'll be damned if I let any more of my crew die because I couldn't face the truth. The dead are gone. Some battles end in nothing but defeat. It's time for you to face the truth, both eyes open. Tears ran from both their eyes. Dang, dude. Oh, fetch, man. It'd be like, you're always your worst critic, right? Like, you're always hardest on yourself. What if you literally could physically talk to yourself? Oh, I don't know. That'd be hard to handle. Those were the words both men lived by. No matter the torment, no matter the comforts of Chigara may offer, Kayto Sheilds would not close his eyes to the galaxy he needed to defend. His other self's face returned to normal. Commander, revoke the Chief Engineer's security access. and have her detained. The tension finally deflated. The Marines put down their rifles, all parties exhaling in relief. Sir! The ghost which spawned from that wretched day will never leave my side. All the more reason she should not gain new friends in the afterlife. With that, the other Kayto Sheilds stood up and straightened his uniform. Got a Captain Picard moment. I am convening an emergency staff meeting. We will have to devise a new battle plan without Chigara's participation. Commander, get the lieutenant. As for my other self, I am sure his insight will be the most valuable in the coming battle. After all, he's at least as smart as I am. Despite the two men being at each other's throats a second ago, Shields could not help but chuckle at his own joke. That's weird.
And that's where we're going to have to leave it off for today. As you know, happens to me in the past, when things get really, really exciting, I sometimes just keep playing and recording and doing all my fun interactions. And once again, I ended up recording over two episodes worth of material, despite the fact I was sick. I don't know. It's just one of those weird things, but it's so much fun. This new rendition is really interesting too, because since we don't do a lot of combat, you're going to see a lot of very interesting interpretations and explanations about like what the combat must be like if you were given a blow by blow, and it's really cool to see. I'm really excited for the next couple parts. So please keep tuned. Please keep watching. Thank you for being here. It's so awesome having you here. As always, you guys make this channel so fantastic. I love hearing everything you'd like to say. And so until the next video you watch with me, or whatever you ever see me in next, I'll see you there.